Hey, what's going on? So today I'm going to cover the big Lock and Key Sandman crossover, Hell and Gone, issue number 1. I just reread this issue in part 2 that just came out this week. It's only 2 parts, but part 2 is pretty long. It probably could have been broken up into 3 issues. Originally I was going to cover both issues, but because part 2 is so long, I'm just going to focus on part 1 in this video, if that makes any sense. So I just uploaded a video on the In Pale Battalions Go arc. That was basically the setup for this crossover. I'll leave the link at the end of the video for that, but just to recap, we are in the golden age of the Locke family saga. It takes place in the early 1900s, so this Locke family are the ancestors of the family covered in the original comic in the show. It consists of Chamberlain and Fiona, who are the parents, and their 3 children, Jonathan, Mary, and Jean. They did have a younger son who passed away, Ian, and that was covered in Open the Moon. So in Pale Battalions Go, Jonathan steals some of the more powerful keys and he goes off to fight with the Canadian military in World War I. He gets injured in battle and uses the Anywhere key to transport himself back to Key House. Unfortunately, soldiers from the German military follow him back to the house, resulting in the death of his mother, Fiona. And in his grief, Jonathan uses the Anywhere key to open the door to the bottom of the ocean, to where the Titanic is, to destroy the keys, the house, and kill himself. Unfortunately, Jonathan drowns, but his father, Chamberlain, is able to save Mary and Jean, and using the giant key, he shuts the door before the house can be brought down. So basically, In Pale Battalions Go in the Golden Age so far has been full of tragedy. The arc has shown that even though it's called the Golden Age, it's far from it for the Locke family. The Hell and Gone crossover, it's going to pick up years later with Chamberlain using the Echo key to see Jonathan. So this key allows you to see the dead, but they just can't leave the well house. At this point, Chamberlain is dying from stomach cancer and desperately wants to save Jonathan's soul before he passes on. Jonathan, whose soul is in hell, as we've seen at the end of In Pale Battalions Go, is forced to fight in the war for eternity as a punishment. He tells his father, Chamberlain, that to leave him be, he deserves to be there. And then we get to see some gnarly art from Rodriguez here with the zombie Jonathan crawling out of the well. Mary, seeing the torment her father is in, uses the Anywhere key to travel to England to bargain with the occultist Roderick Burgess. His son opens the door wearing the helmet of Dream, one of the 7 Endless. The Endless is a family of immortals that are the embodiments of powerful natural forces. So from oldest to youngest, you have Destiny, Death, Dream, Destruction, Despair, Desire, and Delirium. Dream, or Morpheus, another name he goes by, is the main character of the Sandman comic, and at this point in the story he's captured by Burgess. In a ritual, Burgess attempted to summon and capture Dream's sister Death, but snagged him instead. So Dream is locked in the basement and held prisoner with magic, but he refuses to talk or cooperate with the captors. Alright, so to fully appreciate all the Sandman references, you have to have at least read Volume 1, Preludes and Nocturnes, but I'll do my best to try to explain everything. So to continue, Roderick's son Alex, he's going to take Mary to see his father, and on the way, he's going to tell her about plans they have to travel to the States when Roderick goes on a speaking tour. And then in the meeting, we learn that Mary called Roderick just 10 minutes prior to set it up. And then we also learn that Roderick canceled the speaking tour to the States because of a negative article written about him in Life magazine, which that crushes Alex. Before Mary can propose the deal to Roderick, he reveals that he already knows what she wants. Chamberlain, he visited a year ago looking for help to save Jonathan, but when Roderick asked for a powerful key in exchange, he broke off all communications. And then the impossibly fast travel to England from Massachusetts confirmed to Roderick that the Locke family does in fact possess these powerful keys, and then he's going to make Mary the same offer. A powerful key in exchange with a meeting with the entity Dream locked in the basement. And because of her father's illness and how little time they have left, she makes the deal and she exchanges the matchstick key. In the basement, Mary realizes she's been tricked when Dream refuses to talk to her after she asks for help. But after Roderick leaves, he does give her a hint. He uses sand to make an outline of the key to hell. And Mary, not ready to give up, uses the Anywhere key to visit Alex's bedroom. And he has all three of Dream's tools. He has his helmet, ruby, and bag of sand. So she's going to give him the Anywhere key so he could finally travel to the places his father promised to take him but just never did. And then after he leaves, she puts on the helmet and takes the other tools and lays in Alex's bed in a final attempt to find help for Jonathan. Mary's going to wake up in Dream's world, or as it's known in the comic, the Dreaming. She's going to be on top of a grave of Abel, the brother of Cain. So real quick, these two are reoccurring characters in the Sandman universe. If you read it, you know them instantly, but they both live in Dream's kingdom. They serve him, and the running joke of the series is Cain repeatedly killing his brother Abel in like horrific ways, and Abel just can't die, so he can kill him repeatedly. So Mary, when she hears him crying out, she digs him up, only to be horrified by his appearance. So apparently he was buried by Cain with some rats. And then she's going to make a run to the nearest house and meet Cain, and he's going to mistake her for Dream because she's wearing his helm. We're going to learn from Cain that after Dream was captured, his kingdom deteriorated with the Corinthian, who was created by Dream to be Nightmare personified, going against Lucian, who was Dream's librarian, for control of the Dreaming. So Cain is going to shoot a cannon full of keys through Abel when he attempts to come back into the house, and Mary's going to run off when the bloody mess of Abel starts to try to talk. And then again, we got some really cool art from Gabriel Rodriguez. As she's running through the kingdom, she's going to run into some of the reoccurring characters from the Sandman universe. So this is where it pays off to have read some of Sandman. First, she's going to scare off Brute and Glob. They're basically just two more troublemaking nightmare beings that Dream created. They also think that Morpheus has returned, so they're going to run away in fear. Then she's going to awaken Fiddler's Green. He is a personification of a land which all travelers, especially sailors, dream of someday finding. So like a place of endless happiness. And as she makes her way to the castle, she's going to pass a man in a gibbet. A gibbet, I think that's how you say it. And if you have read Sandman, you know this is Lucian, the librarian that I mentioned earlier. He's even wearing a scarf made for him by Fiona. And if you followed the comics or saw my video on issue number 1 of In Pal Battalions Go, we saw that the two kept in contact with the use of the stamp key. When she finally makes it to the castle, she's going to be greeted by a man claiming to be Lucian, and then that the man in the cage is actually the Corinthian. Then he's going to assure her that she's in the right spot for help, because the Library of Dreams has all the information she's going to need to find a way into hell. So then the issue ends with a shot of the man, and then you're going to see that he has teeth in place of his eyes, revealing that he is actually the Corinthian. So like I was saying, if you read Sandman, this is pretty obvious. And then it shows us that the war between Lucian and the Corinthian isn't going too good for Lucian. And that's it for part 1. Overall, I thought it was great, especially if you're familiar with the basic Sandman universe. It adds another level. If you're not, you may be a little confused meeting all the characters and the Dreaming so quickly. But I think the two worlds of Locke and Key and Sandman, they match up really good. Nothing seemed forced or out of place story-wise. I love the art. I've been reading all the volumes of Sandman this year, and I would have loved for all the art to look like this. It's just great detail and crisp. Alright, so that's going to be it for part 1. My next video I'm going to break down part 2. This is only a 2-part series crossover, but part 2 is extra long, so I might do 2 videos for that one. Just subscribe or hit the bell for notifications, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.